Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. I.O. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist I.O. Artlist I.O. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist I.O.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association ARCA series. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and we are coming to you live from Kansas Motor Speedway, a 1.5-mile oval located just outside of Kansas City, Kansas, where these drivers will compete for 130 laps. And with only 2 races left until the playoffs, the competition is heating up. A quick rundown of our point standings. We still have Vincent Isabella atop the points race with 1,461 points. Cody Sanderson in second with 1,301 points. Preston Shepard in third with 1,235 points. Sean Merriman in fourth with 1,078 points, and Jonathan Wiley rounding out your top 5. And those drivers that are sitting on the bubble now currently for points, we currently have Alan Martin in 11th with 842 points, and Ben Johnson sitting in 12th with 823 points. They are on the bubble looking for a strong showing tonight to maintain their spot in the playoffs. And on the outside looking in, we have Dave Nail in 13th with 784 points. And in 14th, we have Terrell Wheeler with 717 points. I spoke with Terrell last night, and he is definitely looking for a strong showing. He is determined to make the playoffs. After missing 2 races earlier on in the season, he is looking to bounce back from those 2 races that he missed and race his way into the playoffs here. And I see we've already got some Thomas Adams fans in the chat. Welcome, Jeremy and Craig. Glad to have you guys here. Thomas Adams, he just entered the session not too long ago, trying to get some practice in. And a quick update on the weather tonight. We do have a lot of cloud cover tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. The temperature is 74 degrees, and the track temperature has just cooled off from 83 degrees down to 79 degrees. So that track is cooling. It's going to make this track really fast tonight. And a little update on the rules. Tonight's event, these drivers are going to be given 2 extra sets of tires, 65% fuel, and 1 quick repair to complete this 130-lap race. I was just talking with Dakota Dennis in the 19 car, and he said he can get about 31 laps on 1 tank of fuel. So with 130 laps, we're looking about 4 to 5 pit stops for these guys to make it on fuel, and only 2 sets of tires to put on the car. So some varying tire strategies probably going to take place here. But the tire wear on these ARCA cars here at Kansas does not have too big of a fall off in one run. You know, looking at about 80% fall off on, these tires only about 20% fall off on these tires for 1 fuel run. Forgive me, I cannot talk tonight. We've got some new cars sitting up front on the leaderboard right now. Dave Nail sitting atop of the leaderboard with the best time of 29.74. Bruce Lee Weaver in second with the best time of 29.77. And then Vincent Isabella, our points leader, in third on the leaderboard through practice with a time of 29.79. Keep in mind, though, those times are based off of drafting. This will be a drafting track. The draft will be a huge factor here tonight. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the 42 of Joseph Truskowski. He's been talked about a lot the last couple weeks here on the Rebel Racing Network. After some rough driving, we saw what looked like might have been a retaliation against that 42 car last night in the Cup Series race. I spoke with Joe after the race last night, and he had mentioned that he was trying to clean up his driving. He raced very clean last week, so you know, I think he's realized that he has maybe not made some friends out there and looking to win some people back over with some clean driving. All right, and Thomas Adams in the chat instead of on the track practicing, saying he got his paint fixed. Having a tough time finding good pit crew guys these days. And Michael Jordan entering the chat, you know, maybe doing some recruiting for 23XI. Matthias, hello. I hope I'm saying that name right. Glad to have you here. Newcomer to the chat, I believe. And as time and practice winds down, we're going to head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by Oorah Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back. Big thank you to Ura Flyovers for our opening ceremonies. Make sure you guys go check them out on Facebook. If you're a league owner or a broadcaster looking to take your opening ceremonies to the next level, shoot them a message. Currently looking at Thomas Adams in the 64 car on track for his qualifying run. And Matthias, yes, this is live tonight. I guess the party at the Holler with Dakota Dennis and Thomas Adams is over. Adams taking the track for his first qualifying lap. And you may notice he is not driving the Aaron's Dream Machine tonight. He is in a pink car. That is because it is our breast cancer awareness weekend here at the National Outlaw Racing Association. A lot of pink cars on track. And I spoke with Thomas last night. He's running a special paint scheme in honor of his mom, who is a breast cancer survivor. He completes his first lap. Currently sitting in 12th out of the 15 that have completed their first lap. Thomas Adam picking up the pace. Trying to find some speed here at Kansas. We're going to switch over to the 15 of Alan Martin, who just completed his qualifying run. Good enough to take second. We're going to move on to the 42 of Joseph Truskowski, looking for a good run here. After his first lap, he was fast enough to take 9th. But I don't think he's looking to settle for a 9th place start here tonight. And with that time, he will move up to 8th. Time of 29.9. Oh, okay, Christina. I did not know that was you. I think your YouTube name changed there. But yes, we are live tonight. We are live every Monday night for the ARCA series. And we do Joshua does not run the ARCA series, but we are glad you are here. He is in the Cup series that is broadcast here on the Rebel Racing Network on Sunday nights. All right, we are glad to have you here, Christina. And it looks like everyone has completed their qualifying run. We're going to bring up our official starting grid. Starting on the pole, we have Dave Nail in the 21 car. Sean Merriman will be rolling off in second place in the 18 machine. In third place, we have Bruce Lee Weaver in the 36. Starting to his outside will be Alan Martin in the 15. Scott Leonard And the 6 car will roll off 5th. Tanner Witt to his outside in 6th, driving the 16 car. In 7th, we have our points leader, Vincent Isabella, in the 79 car. To his outside in 8th will be Cody Sanderson in the 5 car. In 9th, we have Joseph Truskowski driving the 42 car. Rolling off to his outside in 10th will be Steven Linger in the 91 car. Chris Jones will start in 11th in the 33 machine. In 12th, we have Preston Shepard in the 52 car. Rolling off 13th, we have Jay Vaught in the 88 car. In 14th will be Dave Stinson in the 83. In 15th, we have Scott Thompson driving the 8 car. Brandon McGraw will start to his outside in 16th in the 00. In 17th, we have Jonathan Wiley in the 04 car. To his outside will be Dakota Dennis in the 19 machine. Thomas Adams will start 19th tonight in the 64 car. And 20th, we have Terrell Wheeler in the 43 car. And rounding out your field in 21st will be Ethan Straub in the 13 machine. So it looks like everyone has gridded up. You see there is a lot of pink in the field tonight showing their support for breast cancer awareness. These cars begin their parade lap. All right, Christina, practice makes perfect. It does take a lot of seat time to get good at this. If you have been following along on my Twitch with the National Outlaw Racing Association late model series, you see how just a few months off can really affect your skills, because I am not that good in the late models anymore. All right, and the pace car is off. They are getting ready to go green flag racing here. Dave Nail leading them down to the flag. Green flag is out, and we are racing. Dave Nail getting a good start there. Out to an early lead. The 36 of Bruce Lee Weaver trying to follow suit. These cars are getting bunched up, and we see the 16 of Tanner Witt taking it 3 wide, and the 6 of Scott Leonard, they're stuck in the middle. An aggressive move by Tanner Witt early. They try and get this sorted out. Now Scott Leonard, you saw him getting the outside wall. I was able to run a few practice laps here. Kind of get a feel for the track, and there is a lot of speed on that high side through the turns, right up against the wall, but you have the danger of that wall coming out to bite you on the exit. Looking back, we have Vincent Isabella, who started in 7th, now cracking the top 5. Cody Abbott in here rooting for the 21 of Dave Nail. Scott Leonard, after that contact with the outside wall, losing some ground here. As it looks like Bruce Lee Weaver's going to try and challenge Dave Nail for the lead. So they go down the back stretch. Bruce Lee Weaver in that 36 car. Underneath, getting some help from behind. That 18 of Sean Merriman trying to get up there to help Bruce and go around Dave Nail. Bruce completing that pass, looking to move up the track in front of Dave. Bruce opting to stick with that low line, though. As Vincent Isabella just picked off another one, another 2, as he's trying to race for 3rd now. Isabella working that high side. Bruce Lee Weaver in control of this one. Vincent Isabella trying to get up to the front here early on. He didn't get the qualifying run that he wanted, but he is making the most out of it, up 4 positions since the start of this race. And looking further back in the pack, we have the 43 of Terrell Wheeler on the move, up 5 positions to 15th now. We talked to him last night, and he is determined to race his way into the playoffs, and that determination is showing through here as he continues to gain positions. Back up front, we have Joseph Truskowski taking it 3 wide. The 16 of Tanner Witt going to get in the outside wall there. Some 3 wide racing. Truskowski, we've seen him fast and competitive just about everywhere we go. He is an aggressive driver looking to make his way up to the front here. And we now have a challenge for 2nd. Vincent Isabella in the 79 has gotten underneath Dave Nail as they continue to close in on the 36 of Bruce Lee Weaver. I appreciate it, Christina. We try and put on a good show here at Rebel Racing Network, and the NORA series always helps us with that. A lot of good racing here, especially at Kansas. This is such a fun track to watch and to drive. And Sean Merriman making his way back to 4th. He dropped early on. Sorry, Sean Merriman makes his way to 3rd now as Dave Nail continues to fall after starting on the pole tonight. All right, Christina, and make sure you tune in on Wednesday nights after September 17th. We do have the Third Coast Racing Xfinity Series starting with us. But caution is out. Our first caution of the night coming out on lap 12. Looks like Scott Leonard involved in this, as well as Dave Stinson. We go back, take a look, see what happened here. That is Scott Leonard in the 6 car. Dave Stinson and the... Keep a lookout for Dave Stinson in the 83. Looks like Scott just came down on the 16 a little bit. Got turned. Tries to save it and goes into the outside wall. A lot of damage early on to that 6 car. Gonna have to use a quick repair there to get that car back out on track. And early on, it looks like everyone's heading down pit road with the exception of Bruce Lee Weaver and Jay Vaught. Vincent Isabella leading them down pit road. And pit strategy going to be a huge factor here tonight. Once again, these drivers are only going to get about 30 green flag laps on 1 tank of fuel here. So it will be extremely important to take fuel wherever we can get it here. And another thing these drivers have to worry about is saving those tires for later on in the race. Make sure the tire change is checked to off, so you don't burn a set of tires too early here. Vincent Isabella will lead the race off, or win the race off pit road. Only 5 cars opted to stay out. Bruce Lee Weaver in the 36 stayed out. Jay Vaught in the 88. Terrell Wheeler in the 43. Brandon McGraw in the 00. And Thomas Adams in the 64. And they will be your top 5. We have been given the 1 to go signal from NORA. Bruce Lee Weaver in control of this one now, as they double them up and get ready to go back racing. So Josh and Seth, they primarily race the Cup Series. Seth does make his way over to the ARCA Series when he can, though. They are making their way through turns 3 and 4. We are getting ready to go back racing here. Hayes' car dives down to the inside. Green flag is out. Bruce Lee Weaver in control of this one as they enter the restart zone. Bruce going to take off. Looks like someone did not go on the high line. I do believe that was Dave Nail. Correction, that was Brandon McGraw who did not go on the high line, bunching them up. As they get it sorted out, seeing a bobble out of the 15 of Alan Martin. That bunch up hurt Vincent Isabella. He drops back to 7th on that restart. The top 3 are pulling away. Everyone else in the pack jockeying for position. 3-wide racing between Vincent Isabella, Dave Nail, and Thomas Adams. Vincent Isabella caught in the middle there. Adams going to get into the outside wall a little bit. What is going on, Seth? We are glad to have you in the broadcast. Sorry you could not make it tonight, buddy. Looking at Vincent Isabella after getting checked up on the high side on that restart, making his way back up to 4th. Looking back at the top 3 who were able to pull away from the pack here. Everyone, or these top 3 just staying in line, maybe helping out with the draft here. As our second caution of the night comes out, and it looks like it was Jonathan Wiley involved in that, as well as Brandon McGraw. That is Jonathan Wiley in the 4 car. And it looks like Jonathan Wiley just came down a little bit, made contact with Joseph Truskowski, and gets sent up into the outside wall. He gets that car back going. We are going to ride along with Joseph Truskowski through that one from his roll bar. And just see what happened from his point of view. All right, and you can see there, it looked like Jonathan had a run, just came down just a little bit on Truskowski and gets turned. We now see Bruce Lee Weaver has made his way down pit road. Vincent, Isabella, Cody Sanderson, Dave Nail, and Joseph Truskowski all opted to stay out. So some varying pit strategies early on here. Like to note here, Dakota Dennis in that 19 car has pitted under both cautions. You know, he is just worried about getting whatever fuel he can in that car. Probably trying to check the tire wear and the temperature on those tires, since saving tires is going to be extremely important tonight if you want to be around at the front at the end of this one. I just like to point out Dakota Dennis's paint scheme, rocking the pink heels paint scheme. That is a reference to his time as a firefighter. That is an organization of firefighters supporting breast cancer awareness. We head back to the front of the pack. Vincent Isabella is now your leader. Cody Sanderson in second. Dave Nail in third. Truskowski in fourth. And Tanner Witt rounding out your top five, as they are getting doubled up as we get ready to go back green flag racing here. All right, I know I talked to Dakota before this race. He was very proud of that car. Would you believe me if I told you he painted that car himself about 10 minutes before the session opened tonight? All right, the pace car is off. Starter has the green flag in his hand. Vincent Isabella leading him down to the restart zone. He takes off, leaving the pack in his dust. Cody Sanderson going to go low there. Saw Joseph Truskowski looking for a way through. He was ready to go there as well. Christina really liking the paint scheme, saying everyone did a great job. So we see Cody Sanderson catching back up to Vincent Isabella. When you overextend yourself on those restarts, you don't get any help from the draft, and it's very easy for these cars to reel you back in. Tanner Witt now looking to move up to second place as he goes by Cody Sanderson on the inside, opening up the door for Truskowski as well. Tanner Witt getting into the outside wall. That's going to slow him down the backstretch as Sanderson, Truskowski both go by him. Bruce Lee Weaver and Dave Nail also trying to get by him. Dave Nail got into the outside wall, was able to save it there. That is the danger of the high line. We're going to ride along with Dave Nail here. As he tries to go by Terrell Wheeler on the outside. AC Weaver entering the chat, rooting for Bruce Lee Weaver, who's currently sitting in 4th. And here we have Preston Shepard has made his way up to 6th. Looking to crack the top 5 for the first time tonight. And we've got a race for second now. Truskowski and Sanderson battling it out for second place. As Bruce Lee Weaver sitting back there waiting for one of them to make a mistake. Truskowski trying a few different things to get by Cody Sanderson. Unable to do it there. But that's opened up the door for the 16 of Tanner Witt to try and get a run on the outside. As these three, now 4, as Bruce Lee Weaver's entered the chat as well, are battling it out behind race leader Vincent Isabella. Cody Sanderson got a great run there and is now looking to challenge for the lead. Sanderson getting underneath Vincent Isabella. You see them cutting below that white line through the tri-oval. They are allowed to do that. However, there is the risk of not getting room to move back up the track. Once again, if you go below the yellow line through the below the white line through the tri-oval, the driver that stays on the racing surface does not have to let you back up. Sanderson still trying to work on Vincent Isabella. Truskowski now pulling up on the high side. Maybe going to give Vincent Isabella a shove to put him back out in front. There's that shove I was talking about from Truskowski. Allowing Vincent Isabella to pull away from Cody Sanderson. And now Truskowski and Sanderson will battle it out for second. And Tanner Witt trying to go by on the low side as well. A lot of 3-wide racing back here in the pack. It's one of the things I love about Kansas. There is a lot of room. You get a lot of 3-wide racing. And a bunch of different lines you can run here. Caution is out for the 3rd time tonight here at lap 32. I do believe it was Preston Shepard involved in this. Correction, that looks like Dave Nail kicking it off here. We're going to go back, see what happened here. Actually, Cody Sanderson and Bruce Lee Weaver looks like they got together. Bruce Lee Weaver slid up the track a little bit. Taking out a couple of cars there. And we will ride along with Bruce Lee Weaver through this. And it looks like Bruce just missed his entrance to that turn by maybe a foot. And the 5 of Cody Sanderson coming down to make his entrance to that turn comes across his nose just a little bit. Causes that incident. We do have pit stops here. Vincent Isabella pitted, Joseph Truskowski, Jay Vaught, Dakota Dennis, Terrell Wheeler, Alan Martin, Scott Leonard, Dave Nail, Cody Sanderson, Preston Shepard, and Scott Thompson all pitting on that last caution. Tanner Witt, Bruce Lee Weaver, Thomas Adams, and Jay Vaught all electing to stay out. All right, we've got the NASCAR Coke Series entering the chat. I wonder if that is the official NASCAR Coke Series. But yeah, we did have some hard hits there. Okay, running the NASCAR Coke Series on YouTube with AIs. Well, we are glad that you found us here on the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association ARCA Series. But we have been given the 1-to-go signal from NORA. They are doubled up. Tanner Witt will lead them to the green flag. Bruce Lee Weaver to his outside. Thomas Adams sitting there in third. And Vincent Isabella in fourth. Joseph Truskowski will round out your top 5. Pace car is off. Starter has the green flag in his hand as Tanner Witt leading them to the restart zone. Tanner Witt going to take off. Overextending himself on that restart. These guys are going to reel him back in quickly. It's Thomas Adams and Bruce Lee Weaver battling it out for second. Joseph Truskowski looking to take it 3 wide here, though. Bruce Lee Weaver going to move up in front of Vincent Isabella. And Thomas Adams slides up the track, getting into Joseph Truskowski. And Seth, yes, that is Christina. I had the same question earlier. We're going to go back and take a look at this one. It all kicked off with Joseph Truskowski in that 42 and Thomas Adams in the 64. Thomas Adams just sliding up the track and catching that left rear quarter panel of Truskowski. And I know Truskowski is not going to be a happy camper after that. We are going to take a quick step away for a commercial break and then be right back here for the restart.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. Fed Up, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
All right, and we are back. Still waiting for the one-to-go signal from NORA. Coke Series in Season 10 of the NASCAR Coke Zero Cup Series and Season 6 of the Sprite Series. And the inaugural season of the Powerade Truck Series. That's cool. I'm going to have to check out your YouTube there. And I believe that's on Sunday nights, correct? See Tanner Witt pitting late under this caution. He's going to give up the lead now to Bruce Lee Weaver. Dakota Dennis in second. Thomas Adams will restart third. Terrell Wheeler will restart fourth. And Preston Shepard rounding out your top five. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to check that out, buddy. We're getting doubled up. And ready to go back green flag racing. Dakota Dennis in the top five for the first time tonight. He is on old tires here. I do believe that is how he was able to get out in front of everyone after that last cycle of pit stops and making his way up through the pack. So just fuel on our second pit stop of the night for Dakota Dennis. Green flag is out. Bruce Lee Weaver going to take off here. Thomas Adams getting under Dakota Dennis. Cody Sanderson getting into the back of Dakota Dennis, sending him down onto the apron. Dakota able to recover, keep that car straight, but that opens up the door for Terrell Wheeler to get a run to the outside as he goes by Dakota and Thomas Adams. All right, I tell you what, I will message you after the race. We go back and look at Cody Sanderson and Dakota Dennis now running side by side. I'm sure Dakota is not happy about that shot to the left rear quarter panel from the 5 car. I was able to speak to Dakota before the race, and he said part of his plan was to kind of lay back for the first half of this race. Cody Sanderson now has his sight set on Terrell Wheeler in that 43 car. Terrell Wheeler looking for a strong showing tonight to make his way into the playoffs. Cody Sanderson and Terrell Wheeler still battling for that second place position. Bruce Lee Weaver, however, was able to pull away here. All right, Seth, I understand. Trust me, I know trucking sucks. That's why I am out of the trucking industry now, and also why, I run that Fed Up ad. And looky here, we have Jonathan Wiley making his way up to the front now in third place. He was involved in an incident earlier on in this race, but a strong showing from him making his way up to third as Dakota Dennis was able to get back by Terrell Wheeler. Once again, Dakota on old tires, and Bruce Lee Weaver looks like an issue for that 36 car. as he goes up high and lets Jonathan Wiley and Cody Sanderson by him. Sanderson, your new leader. All right, I'm glad you saw that. I missed that. So the 5 getting into Bruce Lee Weaver on his way to the front. Bruce Lee Weaver able to recover, hanging on to 4th right now. We've got almost some 3-wide racing behind him. Dakota Dennis almost caught in the middle of Preston Shepard and Scott Leonard. Preston Shepard also involved in an incident earlier on racing back here as Dakota Dennis now underneath Bruce Lee Weaver. Once again, Bruce Lee Weaver on older tires than a lot of these cars. Caution. Caution is out. Our 5th caution of the night here at lap 48. Looks like Brandon McGraw involved in that one. We're looking at Brandon McGraw in that 00. Looks like him and the 13 will get together, sending Brandon McGraw for a ride. Ethan Straub driving that 13 car. Not look like any major damage for the 00, so he will have the opportunity to race back here. Once again, that is our 5th caution of the night. We're going to try and get an in-race interview with the 64 of Thomas Adams real quick. Hey, Thomas, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
I do. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How is it going with you? We saw you up front there for a little bit. Now dropping back to 13th place. What's your plan to get back up front?
I'm going to try to conserve some more tires here. Save that last set for the final laps here and go from there.
All right. And I was told that this is a special paint scheme for you tonight. Do you want to elaborate on that real quick?
Yeah, tonight's our breast cancer awareness race, and my mom's a breast cancer survivor. So, dedicating tonight to her.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. He's dedicating the race to his mother, and we're hoping, he can make his way up for a podium finish tonight. Is she tuned into the race, Thomas?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check after.
All right,
I'm hoping
buddy.
she is.
Me too. So, but we will let you get back to it.
All right. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you. Once again, that was Thomas Adams, driver of the 64. This race just a little bit more important to him. Dedicating this race to his mother, who is a breast cancer survivor. His pit stops have started here. Some more shakeups up front. Scott Tomlinson is now our leader. Vincent Isabella in 2nd. Preston Shepard running 3rd. Scott Leonard in 4th. And Dakota Dennis holding on to the 5th place spot. And a quick look at our pit strategy. Isabella, I believe, stayed out there. Isabella and Tomlinson, Preston Shepard, Scott Leonard, Dakota Dennis all pitted under that last caution. So they are doubled up. We are getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Scott Thomason is going to be in control of this restart here. Vincent Isabella, though, out very far in that second place position. Scott's going to take off, not pulling away from Preston Shepard or Vincent Isabella like we've seen some of these leaders do on the restarts. Preston Shepard looked up high, thought better of it, and gets in line behind Scott Thompson as they start to pull away. But Vincent Isabella in that 79 car, determined not to let that happen. That 79 car very fast, and Dakota Dennis looking to follow that 79 car underneath Preston Shepard. Dakota Dennis, he does thrive at tracks where the draft is a factor. We saw him take home the win at Atlanta earlier on this season. Is Jonathan Wiley now making his way back up to the top 3. He gets underneath Preston Shepard, goes by him and Dakota Dennis. Jonathan Wiley on the move on the outside. He gets a great run through that turn. Going to go by Vincent Isabella and get a run on Scott Tomlinson as well. Jonathan Wiley, your new leader. Looking back at the pack, we had some 3-wide racing, and I do believe I saw Vincent Isabella sent through the infield there. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened there real quick. I don't think he got any help. I think he just got loose and sends that car through the infield. Going right back to the front of the track. Jonathan Wiley still in control of this one. Now opening up a gap. A half-second gap over Scott Tomlinson and Preston Shepard. Dakota Dennis dropping. He is now back to 8. A lot of tight pack racing behind Jonathan Wiley. Jonathan Wiley managing to hold on to that half-second lead. It's Preston Shepard trying to challenge for second on the outside. And Scott Leonard getting into the back of the 8 car. He has to check up. Is Sean Merriman looking to enter the top 5 tonight for, I believe, the first time? Oh, Sean Merriman and Scott Leonard get together. Coming to the front stretch, bringing out our 6th caution of the night. We'll go back and take another look at that. I'm sorry, it looks like Cody Sanderson getting into Scott Leonard to kick that one off. Yep, Cody Sanderson just hooking Scott Leonard, sending him up into that 18 car of Sean Merriman. Tough break for those two. Looking at Sean Merriman with some front end damage to that car. We go back to the front of the pack. Jonathan Wiley still in the lead. Preston Shepard in second. Scott Tomlinson in third. Terrell Wheeler in fourth. And Dakota Dennis, after all that, now back in 5th. As we see a great fake out of Jonathan Wiley there. And I think he got Scott Tomlinson as He heads to pit road. Dakota Dennis going to head down pit road, as well as Alan Martin, Dave Stinson, Sean Merriman, Dave Nail, and Vincent Isabella all on pit road. We wait to see who's going to win the race off. And Alan Martin is going to win the race off pit road. He comes out in 9th. Dave Stinson comes out in 10th. Scott Tomlinson in 11th. Dakota Dennis will come off pit road in 12th. Dave Nail in 13th. We will step aside for a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back. We have been given the 1-to-go signal from NORA. Jonathan Wiley in control of this one. Preston Shepard in second. Terrell Wheeler in third. Bruce Lee Weaver in fourth. And Cody Sanderson rounding out your top 5. The pace car is off. Jonathan Wiley leading them down to the restart zone. Jonathan Wiley taking off, jumping out to that lead, opening up to 0.3 of a second. Terrell Wheeler gets underneath Preston Shepard. Terrell Wheeler to second. Preston Shepard looked very slow on that high side. We see Cody Sanderson now trying to get underneath the 52 of Preston Shepard. Sanderson, he's looked very aggressive tonight, getting into the rear end of 2 other drivers and causing 1 caution. As he tries to make his way up to the front, he's going to get to the outside of Terrell Wheeler. And Sanderson goes to the lead. Terrell Wheeler not wanting to give up that position, though. So they were both able to work by Jonathan Wiley. Sanderson's going to clear him through this corner. Terrell Wheeler going to tuck up behind him. And Wiley's loose. Wiley's loose. Wiley gets loose there. Goes head over heels, upside down. Comes to a rest on the backstretch. No yellow yet. Wiley's going to tow back, and we're going to stay green. Tough break for Jonathan Wiley. He was having such a strong showing tonight. That tow back under green flag conditions, going to be tough to overcome. We go back looking at Bruce Lee Weaver and Dakota Dennis. Bruce Lee Weaver in 4th, Dakota Dennis in 5th. do believe Cody Sanderson. Trouble for Cody Sanderson. I think he got a little bit of help there from Terrell Wheeler. Kendra Treese saying their power is flickering. They have storms. Kendra, just want to check in. Is that a driver that we have to worry about the power flickering tonight? We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened with Cody Sanderson here. Trying to get caught up, see what happened with Cody Sanderson and Terrell Wheeler. Okay, Kendra, thank you. So that was the issue. Cody's power's flickering because of storms. He blinked out. So a power issue for the 5 car brings out our 7th caution of the night. We see pit stops Joseph Treskowski, Dave Nails, Scott Leonard, Sean Merriman all making their way down pit road. And Treskowski is going to be the first off pit road, winning the race within the race. While we wait to go back green flag racing, we're going to go ahead and pull up Dakota Dennis for an in-race interview. Hey, Dakota, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy, loud and clear.
All right, man. You're having a strong showing. Started in the back, made your way up to the top 5, hanging around there for the middle part of this race. What is your plan to come home on the podium tonight?
Do the same thing we've done all night, save tires. We didn't take tires till lap 65, so we still got plenty of tires left on the pit box. You got plenty of fuel left. We're just going to pace ourselves here. We're in a great spot, and we're just going to run this to the end.
All right, and it looked like your tire strategy varied a little bit from everyone else's, and that was a big factor in you getting up to the front. Everyone else took tires. You just took fuel and was able to get out there in front of everyone and still hold them off even on the old tires.
Yeah, even on old tires, if you take care of them, don't get them too hot, run your line and under cautions. They've helped cool them off a little bit, but these tires are like any other tires in this league here. You get them hot, cool them off, get them hot, cool them off, and they just don't wear. They turn to concrete, and it's fantastic.
All right, and real quick before we send you back up, you care to tell us what Pink Heels is?
Yes, Pink Heels is a firefighter organization that gives back to people who have breast cancer. Not only breast cancer, but any type of cancer. They're a non-for-profit foundation, and they just do wonderful things.
All right, well, we appreciate it. We wish you had more time to talk about it, but you're about to go back racing. Thank you, buddy. Have a good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, once again, that was Dakota Dennis, former firefighter, representing the Pink Heels as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Terrell Wheeler in control of this one. Preston Shepard to his outside. Bruce Lee Weaver giving Terrell a shove before they get to the restart zone. Terrell Wheeler late to the gas there, allowing Preston Shepard to stay right along his outside. And I got to think, I don't think Terrell was necessarily a fan of Bruce Lee Weaver getting right up under his bumper like that. So Terrell's going to hang on to that lead position. Preston Shepard and Bruce Lee Weaver battling it out for second. Bruce Lee Weaver not able to clear that 52 car just yet. That's allowing Alan Martin to reel those two in. Alan Martin right. Preston Shepard going to hold off Bruce Lee Weaver for the time being. Weaver now going to try the outside. Thinks better of it. Goes back to the low side. That 36 car, not exactly sure where he wants to run. He's going to try the low side again to get by Preston Shepard. It looks like Weaver's going to clear him this time. Is Alan Martin also going by on the low side. Preston Shepard back to 4th. Alan Martin now going to go to work on that 36 car of Bruce Lee Weaver. Alan Martin now getting by Bruce Lee Weaver. Preston Shepard now trying to get back by Weaver as well on the low side. And that's also opened up the door for Dakota Dennis in that 19 car. Got some 3-wide racing back in the pack. We currently only have 13 cars left on the lead lap. As time is winding down on this one. Alan Martin has now made a pass for the lead. He gets by Terrell Wheeler. Alan Martin trying to drive away. There's single file up front. We go back, look back in the pack. Dave Nail in the 21 car up on the high side, trying to hold off that 64 of Thomas Adams. I'm sorry. That is the 16 of Tanner Witt, who is a lap down. Trying to get by Dave now. Dave Nail trying to go to work on the 8 of Scott Tomlinson now. Dave trying that outside line. We're going to go back to the front of the pack as Dakota Dennis trying to get to the inside of Preston Shepard now. Take 3rd place away. Dakota Dennis going to have to back off, and I think it's time for a crank it up. All right. And our Crank It Up session sponsored by Creative Castle. We've got some three-ride racing now back in the pack. Dakota Dennis has made his way underneath Preston Shepard. Dave Nail gets to the outside of Preston Shepard. Dave Nail on the move. Dakota Dennis going to have to move up for the 43 of Terrell Wheeler. Terrell's slow. I believe he's going to have to make a green flag pit stop here. They come down to 45 laps to go. And quick look at everyone's stint length on this run. Alan Martin with 25 laps on this tank of gas. He's going to have to pit here pretty soon. Dave Nail with only 17. He can stay out just a little bit longer. Dakota Dennis also at 25. Bruce Lee Weaver, 35 laps on this stint. Bruce Lee Weaver's going to have to come to pit road here soon as well. We've got some more takers. Preston Shepard going to come down pit road. Scott Thomason and Scott Leonard also on pit road. This is where pit strategy is going to come into factor. These green flag pit stops. Bruce Lee Weaver also on pit road. Dave Stinson on pit road now as well. All right, Jonathan Wiley entering the chat. Him and Cody live close together. Both dealing with power issues. That is a tough break for those two. We are sorry to hear it, Jonathan. So we now have Alan Martin still in control of this race. Dave Nail in second. 2 seconds behind Alan Martin. Dakota Dennis in third. Joseph Truskowski in fourth. And Brandon McGraw. We saw him involved in an incident earlier, rounding out your top 5. All right, Jonathan Wiley, as well as Cody, wanting to enter the booth. All right, we've got Jonathan Wiley and Cody Sanderson entering the booth. Both of them dealing with some power issues. They're going to join us in the booth, though. What is up, guys?
We're in here swapping the batteries out on the old 5 machine. I'm stuck taking the lead. It is what it is, but we're working on it. We're going to try to get her back out there.
All right. I don't know if there's enough time left to really be competitive, but good luck with that. Cody, I want to talk to you. You know, it looked like you had some run-ins with some drivers earlier on in the race. I believe Dakota Dennis as well as someone else. What happened there?
There's just, be completely honest with you, man, there's a big old speed difference is what happened. And I couldn't, some of the guys, everybody was just kind of darting all over the place, and it's really hard to pass here, especially when you feel like you're a little bit faster, get the corners just perfect to get a smooth run through the corner to clear a pass. And it's hard to do that, you know, when guys are kind of picking and choosing, which I get. You know, I wasn't straight all night either, but it's just hard when everybody's bunched up like that. And to be completely honest, I was kind of just overdriving to get away from all the squirrels, and then I just happened to look like one of them trying to do it.
All right. I think everyone's kind of looked like that at some point during this race. You know, a lot of darting everywhere. But I got to be honest, guys. I think you guys, your power issues are kind of affecting me now. I'm getting some blinks here. I'm going to send y'all back down to the chat real quick and see if that straightens it out.
All right, good deal, man. Sounds good.
All right, we appreciate it, guys. Once again, that was Cody Sanderson and Jonathan Wiley, both dealing with power issues tonight. They try and get those straight. We still have 4 cars yet to pit on this run. Alan Martin, Dave Nail, Dakota Dennis, and Joseph Truskowski all staying out. Alan Martin going to bring it down pit road this time by. That will allow Dave Nail to take over the lead. Dakota Dennis to second. Jonathan Truskowski to third. Once again, going to look at the stint length on these guys. Nail with only 27 laps on this tank of gas. Dakota Dennis with 35. He's going to have to come down here very soon. And Truskowski with 27 laps. So Dave Nail and Joseph Truskowski can stay out just a little bit longer. And Dakota Dennis now coming down pit road as well. And if this race stays green, this could turn into a fuel mileage race. It could come down to just Dave Nail and Joseph Truskowski. A full green flag run at full throttle. You can get about 31, 32 laps out of a tank of fuel. And we've got about 34 left. So Dave Nail and Joseph Truskowski, they can make it on one more stop. Everyone else, it is going to be iffy. They're going to have to save some fuel. We go back, look. Sean Merriman is our first car a lap down now, as he gets passed by Joseph Truskowski. Looking at Dakota Dennis now making his way back on track. He is out in 7th place. So Dave Stinson was able to get by him, and I do believe Dakota Dennis will have used his last set of tires on that pit stop. So looking to make up some time here. But Dave Nail and Joseph Truskowski sitting in a good position here. Take one more look at everyone's stint length. Sean Merriman has still yet to pit. He's got about 30 laps. Is Dave Nail going to make his way down pit road? Joseph Truskowski to the lead here. We're looking at these guys like Dave Stinson, Bruce Lee Weaver, already have 12 laps on this tank of fuel. They are going to have to pit one more time to make it to the end. Dakota Dennis, if he saves, he may be able to stretch his fuel load out to the end of this one. We see Joseph Truskowski now heading down pit road as well. That's going to allow Sean Merriman, Alan Martin, Dave Stinson, Bruce Lee Weaver, Dakota Dennis, Preston Shepard, Dave Nail, Scott Leonard, Terrell Wheeler, and Scott Thomason all are going to get their laps back. Alan Martin can make it to the end on this tank of fuel. As they come down to 29 to go, Dave Stinson, Bruce Lee Weaver are not good on fuel. Dakota Dennis has to save. So these varying pit strategies are going to come into play here at the end, especially if this race stays green. And after these green flag pit stops, everyone has gotten a little bit more spaced out. So Shouldn't see too much contact out of these guys. Watch Bruce Lee Weaver. Now Dakota Dennis looking to go underneath him. Dakota Dennis going to pass Bruce Lee Weaver and make his way back up to third. Preston Shepard also going around Bruce Lee Weaver. Weaver on older tires than these guys now. Preston Shepard now looking to challenge Dakota Dennis for third. Shepard on the outside. Joseph Truskowski back out on tracks, currently sitting in fifth, going by Bruce Lee Weaver. He's on fresher tires than all these guys in front of him. And we know he likes to be aggressive. There we see it right there as he cuts it down low. Tries to come back up and comes back up on track in front of Dakota Dennis. A very aggressive move out of Joseph Truskowski, but it pays off. We are coming down to 25 to go. Alan Martin in control of this one, but Dave Stinson has closed that gap just a little bit. Stinson able to get a little bit of draft off Alan Martin. We pull up their last lap time. That last time by, Stinson and Truskowski were both faster than Alan Martin. We are down to 24 to go. We are going to go ahead right along with Dave Stinson as he tries to reel in Alan Martin. Alan Martin going to have to deal with some lap traffic in front of him. They've gotten to the 64 of Thomas Adams, who's fallen a lap down now. Thomas Adams, it's still a strong showing for him, currently sitting in 10th. Once again, looking at the last laps, Alan Martin was slower than Dave Stinson on 106, 107, but he's picked up the pace. It was 0.2 of a second faster than Stinson that last time by. And we're going to keep an eye on Truskowski as well. Don't count him out. He is looking to close this gap here. Now down to only 3 seconds behind the leader. Stinson closing it under 2 now for Dave Stinson. They are reeling Alan Martin in as he comes up on lap traffic. another blink out. I do apologize for the blink outs, everyone. We're going to pull up the stint length once again. Alan Martin with 17 laps on this stint. Truskowski with only 11. Nail with 12. Martin and Stinson both going to have to pit again. Dakota Dennis there with only 16 laps on this load of fuel. Could possibly stretch it out, but he has got to save. And Truskowski has now gotten past Dave Stinson. Truskowski closing fast. Truskowski about a half a second faster than Alan Martin those last two times by, and he is within a half a second of the leader. Dave Stinson, Bruce Lee Weaver, Scott Tomlinson all having to head down pit road. Truskowski has now caught the leader. And on those fresher tires, Alan Martin just going to move low out of Truskowski's way, let Truskowski by on the outside. And Alan Martin going to head down pit road. So that sends Joseph Truskowski to the lead. Dave Nail to second. Dakota Dennis to third. Truskowski and Nail can make it to the end. Dakota Dennis has got to save some fuel here. We take a look at the lap times. Dakota Dennis almost only 0.2 of a second slower than Dave Nail. Not really in fuel saving mode for that 19 car. And we see Joseph Truskowski opening up that gap over Dave Nail. Now out to 5 seconds. Truskowski in control of this one. The last thing he wants to see, though, right now is a caution. Currently only 3 cars on the lead lap. Truskowski, Dave Nail, and Dakota Dennis. Vincent Isabella, our points leader, is the first car a lap down. If there is a caution, he will be our lucky dog. Looking at the lap times here again. Dakota Dennis not backing off of Dave Nail's time. He does that last lap. Dakota Dennis, I've just received word. His crew chief is telling him save, save, save. Come out of here with a third place finish. We are down to 10 to go. Vincent Isabella now having to head down pit road for the final time. He is short on fuel. But Joseph Truskowski driving away with this one. As we come down to 8 to go, we're going to step aside for a one last quick commercial break and come right back for the exciting conclusion to this one.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back as they come down to 6 to go. Joseph Truskowski's still in control of this one. Dave Nail in second, Dakota Dennis in third. We have just spoken to Dakota Dennis's crew chief. He is currently 2 laps short on fuel. He's going to try and hold on and save as much as he can. Look at the last lap time. Dakota Dennis, though, not backing off on his lap time. Still running a 31.1. On pace with the leaders here. Now down to 3 to go. Joseph Truskowski in control of this one, and Dakota Dennis having to come down pit road. He is short. Very unfortunate for that 19 car. A splash and go for the 19. He's coming back out. Question is he going to beat Alan Martin? Alan Martin going to take third place away from Dakota. Dave Stinson moving up as well. Dave Stinson will get by Dakota as well. Tough break for the 19 car. White flag is out, though. Joseph Truskowski has just taken the white flag. Next flag ends the race. Truskowski with an 11-second lead over Dave Nail. Very dominant performance from that 42 car after some early race trouble. And he's just got to coast it in. Checkered flag is out. Joseph Truskowski, your race winner. Dave Nail will finish second. 11 seconds behind the leader. And Alan Martin going to come home third, 1 lap down. Joseph Truskowski going to bring that car around to the front stretch, do a burnout, and park it right on the start and finish line. A nice win by Joseph Truskowski. Fuel strategy paid off tonight. Seth LaCroix entering the chat saying, good win, Joe. Great sportsmanship from Seth. I do remember you You got into, or Joseph, you and Joseph got together about 2 weeks ago. Glad to see the sportsmanship. Joseph Treskowski parks it right on the start and finish line. We're going to move on to our post-race interviews. We are going to start with the 15 of Alan Martin. He started fourth, comes home third tonight. Alan, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
Doing all right. That was a crazy race, but fun.
That was, I did not expect a fuel mileage race, but that long green flag run at the end, what went through your mind when you saw Dakota Dennis head down pit road with 2 to go?
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that, getting me in the top 3. But actually, I was leading and went into the pits, and I don't know if I didn't take tires last pit or whatever, but I thought I was out of tires, and it started changing tires, and that's how I lost that lead at the end there.
Oh, that is rough. We talked about it early on in the show about, we only have 2 tires to complete this race, but we're going to have to make about 4 to 5 pit stops depending on cautions. It's going to be essential that these drivers pay attention to whether or not their tires are checked in the black box.
Yep, and that bit me tonight, but I ended up still getting top 3, so that was nice.
That was nice. Congratulations on the top 3. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, my pops. I got a couple people watching. Shout out to them. And National Outlaw Racing Association and everything you guys do at Rebel Racing for us. We appreciate it.
All right, we appreciate it again. Again, congratulations. Have a good night, buddy.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, that was Alan Martin coming home third tonight. Seth LaCroix in the chat saying him and Joe talked it out. We are glad to see y'all had that discussion at the hauler, and everything is good now, Seth. But we are going to move on to our second place finisher, Dave Nail. Hey, Dave, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Congratulations on a second place finish tonight. Came down to fuel mileage. You and Joseph Treskowski seem to have the pit strategy figured out. Were you guys talking during the race?
Oh, no, man. My pit strategy got messed up when I got caught on that first wreck. Had to take tires early. So I just had to sit around and coast for about 60 laps, 70 laps. So I just tried to set up for that last lap, that last little run. Barely made it.
Did you even have enough fuel to get it back to pit road?
Yep, I had 1 lap left, so I made it.
All right, we were watching that intently. Were you hoping for a caution there at the end to hopefully get it run at Joseph Treskowski?
I really thought he was just going to run out of gas. I didn't really think about it. But if there was a caution, I probably would have had 2. I didn't have an extra set of tires. I know some people did. I think Alan Martin had another set, or a fresher set, so he probably would have passed us up anyways. So I was just hoping to go green and then Joseph runs out.
All right. So, before we let you get on out of here, anyone you want to shout out tonight?
I just got to shout out my sponsors, the Oklahoma City Meat Company and Casa de Taxidermy out in Oklahoma.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Congratulations again. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Once again, that was Dave Nail coming home in second place in that 21 machine. And we're going to move on to tonight's winner, Joseph Treskowski. Hey, Joe, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Congratulations on the win tonight. I do got to say, Seth LaCroix is in the chat saying, good win, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Seth. That was awesome. That was great. I mean, that was just, I'm happy with that win, I mean, lapped the field, went by that Vincent guy a couple times. I hope he had a nice look at my bumper the whole time. Well, it wasn't that long. I kept lapping him. I mean, I almost lapped the whole field. What a strategy call by me there. I mean, awesome finish.
Yep. So was that pit strategy plan? We just talked to Dave Nail. He was kind of on the same pit strategy at the end there with you. He said the reason he was on that pit strategy was because of an earlier caution messed everything up for him. Did you plan that out, or was that kind of a happy accident?
No, well, whenever we got running there before, on the last run, I was sitting way back in the pack, like I was like probably in 17th. Like I was just sitting back there with like all the lap cars, kind of letting them go by me, and I was just trying to run the top. The top was kind of keeping my tires a little bit safer, I think, and then so I just ended up saving fuel too. I was going like half throttle there, and then right when everybody started pitting, I mean, I just started hammering it, and then I was looking at or hearing them tell me what the leaders are running, and then I mean I was just flying, and I think it made a big difference too that it turned into a more of an actual mile-and-a-half race than just a drafting race. I mean, I was just hitting the bottom so well, and then so I did plan that, and then I knew I wanted to run long. I feel like in other races where I could have won off strategy, I pit too early, and I saved all that fuel and tried to run it long. And then I came in, and then I even only took 2 tires. I was I was just that good.
All right. Well, it paid off tonight. It's got to feel good to put this car back in victory lane, especially I do remember you were caught up in an incident earlier on in the race as well. So got to be feel good to race back for after that as too.
Yeah. There was a I made a stupid move, kind of going to the middle, making it 3 wide, but then we were going down the back straightaway into 3, and then Thomas Adams was below me, and I think he just got a little high into me, and then of course I took out Isabella too, but I did not mean for any wrecking there. I think he got into me, but I'm not sure. Um, I was racing a little stupid there too, but yeah, I mean it feels good to put a lap on the field.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win again tonight. Anyone you want to shout out before you go ahead and start the celebrating with those icy lights?
Thank you. You, the league, Seth telling me good win. That was nice. My buddy Noah was crew chiefing a little bit, helping me out. But yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. I was really happy that we actually had a run. This might have been the first race in ARCA and Cup that had a green flag run in it. And I usually don't win those kind of races, but I mean, you lose so many of those kind of races. I finally figured it out, and I mean, I put it on them. It was great.
All right. Well, congratulations again. Have a good night, buddy.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Once again, that was Joseph Truskowski bringing home the win tonight. Seth LaCroix in the chat saying, okay, way to be humble. Loving the rivalries, though. Looks like we got a friendly rivalry between Seth and Joseph, and, also a rivalry brewing between Joseph and Vincent Isabella, our points leaders. So, stay tuned for that, guys. Some rivalries brewing here. Gonna get interesting as we come down to the playoffs. Only one race left after tonight. And we are going to go ahead and run through our official results. In first place, we had Joseph Truskowski. Dave Nail comes home second. In third was Alan Martin. Dave Stinson comes home fourth. Bruce Lee Weaver finishes fifth. Preston Shepard comes home in sixth. Dakota Dennis finishes seventh. In eighth, we had Terrell Wheeler. Sean Merriman finishes ninth. Vincent Isabella in 10th. Scott Tomlinson in 11th. Thomas Adams comes home 12th. Brandon McGraw finishes 13th. In 14th, we had Tanner Witt. Ethan Straub in 15th. Scott Leonard finishes 16th. In 17th, we had Cody Sanderson with some power issues at his house, as well as Jonathan Wiley, who comes home 18th. In 19th, we had Steven Linger. Jay Vaught finishes 20th, and rounding out your field in 21st was Chris Jones, 112 laps down. I'd just like to thank everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned. We are back next Sunday night with the NORA Cup Series at Talladega for 60 laps. And then right after that, on Monday night, we are back here at Auto Club Speedway for the ARCA Series for 100 laps. And stay tuned, guys. Once again, September 17th, the Rebel Racing Network will be bringing a new league to you on Wednesday nights, the Third Coast Racing Xfinity Series. Once again, that is put on by Dakota Dennis and Marcus Castle. Dakota Dennis, a driver here in the ARCA Series. Make sure you tune into that. And if you are interested in running it, reach out to Dakota Dennis or Marcus Castle. Until next week, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We will see you back here next week. Please hit that like, follow, subscribe button wherever you are watching on YouTube. Go check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. We're trying to get to 100 followers so we can send these races live on Facebook as well. Until next week, everyone, have a good night.